Stuart, it's Wednesday. It's briefing day.
It's Wednesday.
It is. Well, it's not for us. Is it for us? No, it's Tuesday for us. But for
Tuesday.
You guys, it is Wednesday and it's Trekyards briefing, your weekly dose. But this month we're doing... So it's not that broad multiverse. It's specifically Starfleet battles this month. So Stuart, this is the last one. Hopefully a special one. I don't know anything about it, so I'm excited.
There you have it. And in case you guys don't know, Starfleet Battles is a role-playing tabletop game where you basically take ships from the Star Trek universe and have space battles. It's pretty simple. You allocate energy each turn, and then you battle and get damage, and just reallocate next turn.
And this was a late 60s, early 70s game.
Yes, and very fun, I might add. So we've looked at a Klingon, an Andromedan, and a Gorn so far, and now we're going to be looking at a Romulan. Now we have been going with bigger ships. We did the Gorn Dreadnought, we did the Klingon B-10, and the Andromedan Dominator. Yeah. But we're gonna. I thought of ending with the Romulan Vulture, which is the Dreadnought class, but I wanted a little bit more, something that looked a little different. So instead, I went, since it's the last one, we're gonna just slide out of this whole month with just a small little light cruiser, and that is the Sparrowhawk class, Romulan Sparrowhawk. So there you go. And this one doesn't look like anything else that we've really seen from the Romulans, so that's why I chose it, because it's a cool design.
Yeah, I didn't... There's nothing that says to me Romulan on the picture, apart from it says Romulan. I hadn't seen anything that said Romulan when I skimmed it before the show, like just this first picture. And when he said Romulan, I was like, oh, it's Romulan? I was thinking it was some alien third-party race that I sort of vaguely knew of, so I'm like, oh, I'm surprised.
Yeah, no, it's Romulan. They have quite a few different shapes and designs in their fleet. They're actually got some really cool ones. So it's a good variety there. Not a lot of them look exactly alike, so it's really nice that they did that.
Well, I mean, this is one thing that I will always throw out when people say, oh, Star Trek Discovery, the ship looks... It's so different to anything else we've seen before. Well, no, there's sort of those shapes in the past, and not everything needs to look like the Connie, because look at the Voyager era. We've got the Voyager Defiant, Galaxy, Norway, Sabre, all look actually pretty damn different if you repainted them and changed the Bassar something else. I mean, you wouldn't say they're all Federation, especially the Defiant. So, I mean, obviously, different mission profiles and different... That is a different design, so it's odd to think that the entire Romulan culture would be based around the idea of, we're going to make everything look like birds. I mean, obviously not, so having a ship that is like this is like, well, yeah, it looks to me like maybe a cargo ship. That would be my guess, just because of the simple shapes. So light cruisers. So what in this Starfleet Battle canon was the one ship we see in TOS? What's that class as? Because obviously in my mind it's always an experimental cruiser, small but powerful ship. What was it in the...
Light cruiser would be the Saladin class, the single-engine scout dreadnought, or destroyer class. So that's basically what this is on par with.
And what was the one from TOS then? What was that in the Starfleet Battles? What was that classed as?
The Bird of Prey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that would be a heavy cruiser if in the game. Go on par with the... Well, not that one specifically, because it was just the test bed for the plasma. Okay. But the War Eagles and things, which are the same size, same shape, same configuration, those are basically heavy cruiser class.
Heavy cruiser and yet so small. Sure, that implies Romulans have higher technology, because it's not a big craft. I mean, they're pretty damn minimal.
I'm sure the War Eagles and stuff are a bit bigger. So.
Right. And this is obviously not that big with the window size. But I mean, what's your first impression then when you saw this? And is this... I think we said in a previous episode that you had only ever seen these designs from up, the top shot. Are you getting these little tingles of, it's what it looks like? Is this a very good reproduction of the other?
Well, yeah. Adam Turner does some fantastic work, and like I've said before, the Starfleet Battles box art and magazine art for their captain's logs has some really great shots of these ships. So you do kind of get a fleshed out feel for what they look like. And as far as I'm concerned, this one is just fantastic. As always, Adam Turner does excellent work. But again, even with this one, there are different takes on it by different artists. Yeah. But this one I really like. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah. So I guess my first impression, like I said, was it's sort of a cargo ship. Very big shapes. you can't tell much about it. I don't know if it's trying to be a ship that, you know, you come at it and you don't know what it's capable of. It's not really giving much away beyond the, I'm guessing it's 3 nacelles, which is, I guess it's light cruisers could imply the lower armaments or faster, so maybe this is the light cruiser / fast response vehicle.
Yeah, I would say so. I definitely would say cargo ship, though. It's a military vessel. It's a ship. It's a ship for battle. It's not a cargo.
It goes against the Romulan war aesthetic that we know. Hence why differences.
Well, you wouldn't say that if you saw the other ships in this Romulan fleet and Starfleet battles. But so yeah, this, and I love the blue Bizarre collectors. They're round. That's something that's used in Starfleet battles as well on the Warbirds and War Eagles. They got the round blue Bizarre collectors, which are cool. Now, the interesting thing about these ones with the tips on them, those are actually the plasma torpedo launchers on the tips of those nacelles.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's like a plasma generation chamber. So yeah, other than that, they're armed with regular phaser 1s and a few smaller phasers, but yeah, pretty powerful as far as plasma torpedoes go.
So 3-hole plasma torpedoes fired directly from the warp engines.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez, does that mean that it's using?
And actually, the SSD has 2 plasma emitters on each nacelle. At least the SSD I'm looking at, but it's the acceleration cruiser Sparrowhawk Z, which is an upgrade.
So pretty damn capable. And obviously, I guess the amount of plasma you can put in is different. Like just because you got 4 doesn't mean it's more powerful. It could just be multiple lower yield.
Yeah, they're plasma Fs, which I can't remember the plasma chart, but there's plasma Fs, there's S's, there's different strengths. So I'm pretty sure these aren't the strongest ones because it's a smaller ship, but they'd still be pretty powerful. So
that's a pretty radical thing then. So
yeah, it is a cool idea.
I do like those engines. I like that it's definitely that sort of 60s sort of throw stuff together vibe, but I like the fact they're completely exuded from the main hull. They're blue. They look like, you know, disco balls or lanterns. You put light in the middle. Like they have a distinct feel, and yet you can tell that they are in the Star Trek world, which you know, a lot of these things have an aesthetic.
Yeah. And if you go to the next shot, this is more from the rear. You can see the impulse engines there.
That's not what I thought it would look like.
And 3 more phasers at the back. All those green are like phaser turrets.
Yeah.
So again, those nacelles have like the cooling fins, which look really neat and kind of speak to the 60s vibe. But I like it. I think it fits in with the Star Trek.
Well, if they're trying to do the weapons and the warp in the same chamber, then boy, that's, you know, you can imagine how hot the engine must get when it fires plasma. What if you suddenly want to go to warp? I mean, you need to have that cooling.
Yeah, I don't know how exactly that works, but that'd be interesting to find out for sure. Because we know that Federation ships have plasma conduits that need to be cleaned on a regular basis, and that's their like garbage. That's their discharge. So I don't know why they don't utilize that to form a weapon out of it, like the Romulans do. Because I'm pretty sure that's how the Romulans generate the plasma for their plasma torpedoes, by using the waste from their warp systems. That would be my guess.
Snazzy. I'm really surprised by the shapes. Cause it's such an organic front and yet such a bulky back. It doesn't. It implies to me that they're either, well, again, if it was a cargo ship, they're the cargo containers, that they're the raw mechanical bits. They're not meant to be living quarters. They're meant to just be tech. It's not as advanced, so it needs to just have bulk stuff. Or like, you know, the impulse engines are so powerful that they just, again, it's just a bulk bit of power there.
Yeah, I do kind of dig the shapes here. There's so many other Romulan ships that I want to look at in future mission briefing series on Starfleet battles, because like the Condor is a neat shape and a few other ones. But I really wanted to share this one with you guys because it's just so unique. Yeah, I absolutely love it. So
it could easily be like a Lost in Space luxury yacht.
Yeah.
I'm surprised no Romulan symbols anywhere, or like painting anywhere.
You don't have to have a bird on everything, right?
You don't? No.
It would be interesting design as well if you turned those nacelles backwards and had it fly the other way. I think that would work as well for a different alien race. It would look more like a train that way. Like a locomotive of some sort.
Yeah. I can see that.
So that'd be kind of cool. If you go to the next picture, it's a shot from the bottom. You get to see the bottom nacelles. Yeah. And the, I believe that's the main deflector, that big, large green thing there. But yeah, it's not a very big ship if you judge by the phaser turrets and the windows. So I'm not exactly sure the measurements, unfortunately. So
I mean, the size of a Connie saucer probably. I mean, again, if the Romulan bird of prey is that small, then this is also going to be, it should be even smaller if it's a light cruiser, maybe theoretically. You're talking about that much big, and they haven't done the whole jump of tech to make big until TNG, because that was that big. Oh my goodness, safe to say they haven't got anything that big in the Romulan War, and obviously after the fact. But no, this is a nice view. Again, not very Romulan. It would have been nice to, if this was green and had like a smidge of like wings coming out of those two side pods, like going facing the bridge. I think that would have made it look like a bird at rest, but like subtly. I think that would give it at least a Romulan fleet aesthetic, if not necessarily a classical vibe. Yeah,
well, this is like Starfleet Battles, the stuff's based on the TOS aesthetic, and green wasn't a thing for the Romulans then. That really didn't really become a thing for the Romulans until, I was going to say Star Trek 3, but you consider that a Klingon ship. So probably Next Generation is when the green thing for the Romulans came about. So
it's interesting that I'm wondering why they'd make them white, because Fed ships are basically white. It's weird that these two big races would all be white. It's a nice differentiation, I know obviously green and green Klingons are Romulan, but there's a sort of a different green. One's more of a greeny green, one's more of a dirty green.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. It would have been cool to have it.
Because that could be a Federation. That could be a Federation design very easily. You just change the faceable turrets and the deflector, and it's pretty close.
That would make a nice little civilian ship for the Federation. Yeah, like the Aurora that they reimagined. Aurora that they did.
That'd be a great Aurora. Yeah, make the Bassards red. Even keep the fins. Have just them be older engines. Or they're not fins. The cooling system. Absolutely. Yeah. Cool. So I'm guessing no shuttle bay. He says as a question.
Go to the next picture and take a look at it from the top. I'm going to quickly open up the SSD here and see about the shuttle bay.
Okie dokie. Okay, so
it does have a shuttle bay. It's I believe it's that part right below the lower or the middle nacelle down there, because that's where it's located on the SSD. Now again, this is Adam Turner's interpretation, so he might not have put doors in.
Well, it's kind of a door. You can see it sliding. But I mean, I just looked at the next picture. If we jump to that, I guess it's barely more than a deck, so more like a very thin sort of bay. Yeah. I mean, I guess it could recess in and then it sort of flies out at a weird angle. Would alleviate that problem.
Yeah. Yeah, it is only 3 shuttle boxes. It's not like it's a huge hangar bay or anything. So,
but this top view again, very small craft. I'm surprised at the window placement. There's so much just dead space.
Yeah.
There doesn't need to be stuff there, but panel lines, or per Romulan symbol at the front, like you would in TNG, would be fine. Or some slight war paint, just like a neck of some slight feathers, just a little bit of something would be nice.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, like I've said with the different artists, I've seen different adaptions of this that do have bird motifs on them. Yeah. So like people have fun, kind of personalizing their Starfleet battleships.
Okay, so the next question, the obvious one to me, is what are those 2 side pods then? Obviously the impulse engine at the back, but also that top detailing, or is it just sort of detailing?
I don't know. I really couldn't tell you. It could be anything, and again, it is very much Adam's interpretation of the picture that was on the megahex things. So yeah, I'd have to talk. We should have an interview with Adam Turner at one point and kind of ask him these things. It's an interesting shot from the back, I gotta say. Yeah. You got 3 weapons pointed at you, so you don't want to be following this guy. And there is a red glow inside the nacelle, kind of implying some kind of different technology than the Federation.
So. Well, wouldn't it be interesting if you actually, in terms of the high-up technology to actually make this nacelle. The front is the weapon, the middle is the coil, the back is the impulse drive, all in one self-contained unit. I mean, why not? I mean, you're creating a bubble of energy. You don't need. If you're that advanced, just have it all in one, and all you need is just basically then it becomes more of a rocket ship in a sense. I do prefer that's not the point of them to create thrust, but why not?
Well, yeah. You said advancement, but in Starfleet battles, you got to remember the Romulans weren't the most advanced with warp and stuff. That's why this smaller ship, which for a Federation ship, a dreadnought or not a dreadnought, a destroyer would have like one nacelle. Ooh. This has 3 smaller ones.
That's interesting.
To kind of generate the same kind of speed and power. So yeah, but I see what you're saying, and they're actually not very powerful if you look at the SSD. There's very few. So yeah, probably an older style technology.
And obviously they're not using photon torpedo technology; they're using plasmas.
Yeah.
And so while you know they need to have 3 to create the thrust or the speed, they can mitigate that by enhancing the weapon payload by having 3 full plasmas. So I mean, you're sort of giving it that edge. Because I mean, it's got more weapons than the Saladin. I mean,
they're usually pretty well matched in game for classes of ships. But yeah, the Saladin would only have phasers and photon torpedoes, so I think this would overpower it. Yeah.
Because just in pure numbers, I think it has a couple more turrets, like 1 or 2. If you look at photon torpedoes, it only has 2 forward, 0 aft. This has you said 2 each, so that's 6 forward plasma. And they're probably less powerful than torpedo, but
not this specific version, but the upgraded version has 2 each.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought this one wasn't. So I mean, it's still 3. 3 is still 1 more, because math.
Yeah. But they take. You got to think too. These plasma torpedoes, they're disadvantaged in a way because they take so long to charge, and then they fire, and then you need to recharge them, and it takes many turns to build that up. So you got to cloak and build them up while you're cloaked, and you can't do anything when you're cloaked, pretty much. So it is an advantage because they're so powerful, but it's a disadvantage in another way as well.
Well, it's
so everything
also
equals out.
Well, it's also like a shotgun weapon. The closer you are, the more damage. So but that's the thing. If you cloak and then decloak next to an enemy that's sort of trying to stay away from you, but not really, decloak, boom, fire. I mean, you might have annihilated them in 1 hit.
Yeah, and you got to think too that plasma torpedoes can be outrun. They're not.
That's what I'm saying. That's why the disadvantage in short to mid or mid to long range torpedoes is just fuel.
Well, even short range, if you decloak close to somebody and fire, and you just move on to your next turn, they have the chance to speed up. They can start to get ahead of your photon torpedo, and maybe even outrun it eventually. But it's very unlikely. But the longer you can outrun it, the less power it has when it hits you. Yeah. So. Yeah. The next shot is just a shot from the side. It kind of gives you the side profile, and this is a look I really like. It kind of reminds me of something out of Futurama.
Yeah.
But I think it's a cool looking ship, and with the placement of those phaser turrets on the front, it looks like eyes.
Yeah,
it gives it kind of an animalistic vibe.
Yeah.
So
it looks like a bit like a sea creature with how it's textured and such.
Yeah.
No, it's nice. It actually looks surprisingly fast, given the back angles with this view. If you put 3 warp streaks like in Star Trek Online or in some of the movies, it would look quite nice. Yeah. Huh.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, all right. So next picture, just another shot from the top. Nothing really too much to glean from this one. Again, looks like eyes again, and a little bit of a mouth with the windows there. Next shot is from underneath. A little bit better look at that deflector. It's a cool looking deflector, actually, compared to other deflectors of the Federation and the Klingons. I can skip the next one.
Although I would have thought, though, the bottom of those 2 pods would be the most obvious shuttle bay launch doors ever.
Yeah.
You got so much unused space, and so much wasted space. Don't have a little shuttle bay door, just have drop racks for fighters.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm sure it's like the bigger ships like the Condor and stuff have some kind of integration like that. So here's some artwork that's done with them, taking on some Federation.
Oh, Adam Turner again.
Yeah.
Looks like art, like actual old art. That's nice.
Yeah. Huh. I can't remember the name of that other Romulan ship that's behind them there, but that's another one of the designs for a smaller Romulan ship as well.
See, it's funny. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it, with these designs? Because we've said often, oh my god, the Klingons are so kitbash. It's just D7 reutilized. But these are different designs. These are non-Romulan looking designs because they're not using this standard shape. They're using it's got curves, it's got engines. It's using the pieces just in not a familiar way because that's, again, a million different sorts of styles. So, but it's weird. That's why eras are so tricky because not everything should look the same. But it's.
You know what we need to do? You know how we've done the evolution of the Klingon fleet and the Warp 5, pre-Warp 5 ships? Mm-hmm. We should do one on each species for Starfleet battles, because it'd be interesting to see all the ships side by side and kind of pick apart the fleet. I think that's an episode we should do at some point on each one. So,
dude, find the pictures and let's discuss it. That sounds interesting, yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Is there a time order in FASA or something else, or is that it's more just sizes?
What do you mean?
Like, would you look at the earliest of the Romulan ships and go to the latest?
Oh yeah. You definitely could. And it's not FASA, it's Starfleet battles.
Yeah, it's different. You start with the NX version and you work your way up.
Yeah. And here's a picture of it taking out.
That's a cool ship.
I can't remember the name of that class for the Federation. Anyway, yeah, there you can see the plasmas being launched from the tips of the.
Using muzzle flashes.
So when there's a War Eagle down there, and you can tell that the War Eagle is different because it's got phaser turrets on it.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, and different aft parts to the engines, and actually, in fact, the front part's more integrated. It's a slightly different version of the ship.
Yeah, and actually, it's got phasers on the nacelles too at the back, but we'll get into that some other day.
Yeah. And I will say though, this kind of, again, just like with Discovery or the Connie, this shows that I guess out of these two and the previous picture, the Warbird is the odd one out. The Romulan aesthetic does not look like birds. That's not the primary design. It's these designs. That one's just a unique one. Because out of these three we've seen, that's the odd one out. It doesn't fit bar the colour. It doesn't actually fit the aesthetic.
Yeah, you say that, but there's the condors and stuff. I'm telling you.
No, I know. I'm just saying out of these three ships, each Federation ship has looked very, very similar. But out of these three, it's just interesting. It's a fun way around things. Although, again, you could either say that I think you could probably argue that the Warbird is an older style because it links the Enterprise one, obviously. That's a classical format to keep updating, whereas these new ones, it's got more of a head like the Dederdeck, so it's pushing away from just being a bird to something else, which then evolves back into more of a bird, but there is more of a...
you can definitely make that argument, absolutely, yeah. And then the Dederdeck is kind of a combination of both.
Yeah.
Going back to that kind of wing formation, but on the top and bottom, and then, absolutely.
Because you wouldn't say the TOS and the Dederdeck necessarily link. There isn't that much. I know Andrew didn't do that much of linking because he didn't want to be confined so much.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we should do the episode then, the evolution, because Romulan's quite a unique evolutionary race.
I think that'd be fun. We could do it on every species. It'd be fantastic, actually.
Do it.
And I think the Starfleet battles viewers out there would definitely appreciate it. So.
And as I always say, this is all part of the Trek lore, and this is we love designs. There's so many designs that people don't know, the majority of people. Let's get them to you guys. That's why you're here on Trekyards to watch new interesting things, canon and non-canon. And this is a big part of a lot of people's non-canon, but sort of canon lives for a long time. So
yes, absolutely. And the cool thing is with Starfleet battles, all these ships have interesting histories and everything. So we could actually do individual episodes on most of these ships and make it really interesting for you guys to learn new stuff. And
either Adam has fun models, or we've got team members that could build these very, very simple models in a day.
Yeah.
I mean, they're really, which is good. I mean, that's good. But you can do a lot with them. But as we've said with other ones, you do the standard version, and then maybe we make a few tweaks and make the Trekyards enhanced version, because they could all be done with a bit more design,
which could be its own show in itself, as we've kind of discussed. Trekyards takes this ship before and after, and make our changes. Redesigning a classic, yeah. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this stuff.
It's like a whole new franchise of Trekyards, isn't it?
Absolutely, yeah. Well, we hope you guys enjoyed this look at Starfleet Battle ships this month of mission briefings. I'm sure we're going to do it again, because there's still, like I said, the Kzinti, the Hydrants, the Lyrans, a whole bunch of other races you guys don't even know about. And I actually know about them from the first Starfleet Command game, and I love those purple ones. Those are awesome designs, and the other ones, the brown, the orangey brown ones that have the field that actually hit, as you hit it detonates, which is all just almost green in a sense. Some of how the construction is a little bit. Yeah. Well, there's the refit versions of them. They're based on the original Starfleet Battles versions, which is cool. So there you go. We have that to look forward to, guys, in the future sometime.
Yeah.
And I want to bring a lot more Starfleet Battles goodness to you guys at some point. So stay tuned for that. So click the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And you can always help us out to bring you more shows like this. If you want to learn more about Starfleet Battles or FASA, we definitely want to do that. But we need your help. What can they do to help, Commander?
That's the cue. We're a well-oiled machine.
That's the cue.
Well, that'd help if you can click our fingers and have donations. No, you can donate to this channel, because not just this show, it's this channel. It's the interviews, it's the trips, it's the other different various of shows, all the shows we have plans to do. It's the whole thing. It's a channel of good content. Orville, Discovery, all this stuff on the Trekyards channel. So donate if you can. A bit of money each month from enough of you makes a huge difference. So either donating via Patreon, which is a monthly donation scheme, think about like a Netflix or a Hulu, or like an Olden Day magazine subscription. You just give a little bit each month, get all the Trekyards goodness for free, but if you know you're helping to let us actually make the show and keep it coming to you, because it's always that struggle with balancing the books as it works. It takes a lot of time to produce this stuff. Or a one-time donation if you just want to give us a thank you or a tip or whatever at trekyards.com. Click that big donate button and just put a number in. It goes straight to PayPal, and it's very much important and well used. We try and make sure.
And don't forget, guys, if you guys know a lot about the Sparrowhawk, if you've played Starfleet Battles a lot, and you want to put interesting information down below, when we do a full episode, we will definitely use that. And plus, all the other readers and viewers can, use your comment as more knowledge based on this episode, which is really appreciated. So, and let us know what ships you want to see, because that would also be helpful for future episodes. But until next time, guys, I'm Captain Foley.
I'm Colin Coggins.
And we'll see you guys soon.